Hello and welcome back to the Post-Completion OPT video series. Now we are going to talk about employment reporting. You have some federal requirements that you must meet while you are on OPT. You must report any employment that you have during the OPT period. You can start working from the approved start date on your EAD card, but not before. You should be reporting any changes to your employment. And if you are changing jobs, like you left one job and you're starting with a new company, or maybe something happened within the company, like you got a title change, you should be reporting anything like that to us within 10 days. Report any changes to your physical living address and e-services by changing your SEVP address within 10 days of moving. Inform us as soon as possible if you change visa categories by submitting the immigration status change notification in the ISD portal. After 90 days of unemployment, your SEVP record is at risk of being terminated because technically you have violated your F1 status. Try not to accumulate that much unemployment, but it is okay if you have some. A general rule for reporting on OPT: all new updates should be reported within 10 days of change. If you have a new home address or phone number, they need to be reported to us. If there is any detail about your employment that is new, you will also need to report that within 10 days. If you have a new address, you need to make sure it is updated in e-services. Also make sure your most up-to-date email address is also updated in e-services. SEVP portal emails will be sent to the other email address listed in e-services. Make sure to keep this up to date. There are two ways to report your employment. The first way is through the ISD portal. Once you graduate, you are considered an alumni. While you should still be able to log in with your current student UHCL email account, we recommend creating an account under the alumni using your personal email account. The second way you can update your employment information and address is something called the SEVP portal. You will get access to the portal after your OPT is marked approved and after your OPT start date has passed. Let's say your OPT is going to begin on January 1st. Within about a week or two after that start date, you should get an email from SEVP that is giving you access to this account. Those emails are sent to your email address that is marked as other in e-services. If you do not receive the SEVP portal email or lock yourself out of the SEVP portal account, please submit an SEVP portal help request in the ISD portal for assistance. What else you can update in the ISD portal? You can update your physical living address, your mailing address, your phone number. You can add and edit your employer information, and then you can delete your employer information if you have never worked for that employer. Let's say you got an offer for one job, but then you got an offer for another, and you had never started the first one, but you've already reported it. You can delete that yourself. Please do not delete any employer information if you have worked even for one day. Once you are on STEM OPT, of course, only if you're eligible for that, there's only limited things you can change in the SEVP portal. You can edit some employer information, but you cannot add an employer because there's additional documentation that you must provide to us. So at the very least, the SEVP portal does allow you to view your employment history yourself and keep track of that. Reporting yourself on SEVP portal is not mandatory. You can still report in the ISD portal, and then you will be able to see our update in your SEVP portal once we have updated the information for you. So what is the SEVP portal? The SEVP portal is a government portal, and it is a connection to your SEVP record. SEVP stands for Student and Exchange Visitor Information System. That is the database we use to issue I-20s and make any changes that are needed in your program. You have a small connection to this database through the SEVP portal. It lets you see a limited amount of information and lets you change some of the things yourself if you would like. In addition to reporting your employment to OIAP, you really should be keeping record of it yourself as well. It's good practice to keep all documentation while you are here in the U.S. This type of information you want to keep track of is what position you held, how long you were in that position, the number of hours you worked per week. Try to hold on to any supervisor contact information, have a detailed description of your job duties, because as we mentioned in the employment requirement section, that the work that you do during OPT has to be related to your field of study. Keep a detailed list of job duties of your field of study. Keep track of all of that information. Just to recap what we've already talked about, step 1, submit an OPT employment update request in the ISD portal so you can report your employment. Step 2, make sure that your address is up to date in these services, specifically your local physical address under the SEVP address. If you are able, you are free to report in the SEVP portal. It is not required to report in the SEVP portal. However, you can still submit through the ISD portal. Step 3, we do our work in the background and update your SEVP record. You would be able to view these changes in the SEVP portal in about 1 to 3 business days after the ISD portal request is marked complete. Step 4, success. You have completed your OPT reporting requirements. Please note that we do not automatically issue new I-20s for you after you submit an OPT update. If you wish to have an I-20 with the update employee information, you must submit an I-20 reprint request in the ISD portal. You can submit this request at the same time as your OPT update to save time. Thank you for joining me in the video, and please check out our other videos in the post-completion OPT series.